Good Cowboy Nation? You tuned in to Repping the Star with Jason Sibley. All right, here we are. Regular season finale. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders. Um, man, it's so many ups and downs this season, but I probably would have never guessed that. Like, probably when the Eagles was like 10-1, that we would even be playing for that division. I mean, it just things have fallen into place beautifully for the Dallas Cowboys. Um, now I don't I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't write off this game. I don't sit there and say, "Hey, this is a guaranteed win." I know right now betting is saying that Commanders are 13.5 underdogs in this game, and I mean I don't know if that's skill or whatever it may be, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the prime example of what a trap game is. So I know that there's two factors that's going on right now. The Commanders currently are projected to have the number two overall pick. Now, if they try to get that number two overall pick, they're going to have to lose. But you also have to realize this is a NFL team that has a lot to play for. They have a lot of pride. Ron Rivera this is probably his last game with the team. You never know what you're about to get out of this game. The Cowboys cannot go into this game just expecting them to roll over just for you. Like you were going to have to go out here and be ready for anything. Now, granted, it could be one of those things where they don't play their starters and just say, "Hey, you know what? We'll see what happens." I don't know what's going to happen. We're not going to know until Sunday. I thought that the NFL was very crafty to make sure that this game and the Eagles game took place at the same exact time. Had the Eagles been playing at noon, then the Cowboys probably could have rested their starters, or vice versa. They made sure it was the same time, so it should be very interesting. I also thought it was kind of interesting to see that Curtis Samuel in Wednesday's practice, he was a full participant, but by Thursday's practice, he did not participate. So I was like, are they pulling their players back? We don't know that. So to be continued. But yeah, it's a big game. It's one of those games that I hope that they don't just sit there and pull back they players and just say, "Hey, we're just going to rest our starters," or we just not going to give a full effort, because at the end of the day, the first thing that people are going to say is the Cowboys won because of this. That's what we heard all week long. Cowboys won against the Lions because of this, and it's unfair because no matter what your record is, no matter how you've played, it's almost like you were defined by one situation that you had no control over. And that's the way I look at this whole situation. I really don't even like talking about it, but it is what it is. You turn on television, you open up, wherever you like to read your sports news. It's everywhere. It's the controversial 2-point try. Now, all we are couch officials. We don't know necessarily what happened. None of us were on the field. We don't know what took place. Only thing I can go off of is what Dan Campbell, their head coach, said on the ticket of Detroit. He said that they sent 3 offensive linemen to the ref. What they were trying to do was confuse Dallas so they didn't know who the eligible player was. But in them trying to confuse the Cowboys, they confused the ref, and that's the reason why it took place. So how we got to this place where everybody's saying the Cowboys won only because of this, and I heard somebody say the NFL scripted. They said it was rigged. NFL just wants the Cowboys to win. Now, me being a Dallas Cowboy fan for many decades, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Cowboy fans who are watching this right now, and that is the most confusing thing I've ever heard in my entire life, that the NFL is scripted for the Dallas Cowboys to win. Because if the NFL was scripted for us to win, please explain to me how we've gone almost 30 years without winning a Super Bowl. Typically, in situations like this, where it's like those fluke situations, it's like, I mean, the Dez didn't catch it, he caught it. I mean, typically, we're on the other side of this. But now, instantly, NFL wants the Cowboys to win. Well, I'm telling you, typically when things are scripted and rigged in your favor, you win. We have had many years of losing seasons, so I don't understand where this scripted thing and things working in the favor for the Cowboys, because it's not the way it's going. It really hasn't. Now, Chris Rock, he actually in one of his stand-ups he said selective outrage, and I think that is a perfect example of what's going on. It's selective outrage. Everybody wants to talk about the 2-point try, but they don't want to give credit and something say if that's the only reason why the Eagles, I'm sorry, the Lions lost that game, then explain to me. So it had nothing to do with Jared Goff throwing 2 interceptions. It had nothing to do with Dak throwing for 345. It had nothing to do with CeeDee Lamb having a record-breaking game in one season. Or season, we'll just say season. None of that plays a factor. The only reason why they won was because of the refs. Was it a bad call? Who am I to say? I can't say. All I could go off of is the information that we are given. And if you tried to trick somebody and you confuse a ref, that's on you. That's not necessarily on the Cowboys. The Cowboys up there and played to win the game. But here's where the selective outrage comes into play. There's two things. First thing is, right before that series, everybody seems to just conveniently just bypass the fact of that in the series before the Lions got the ball to take the lead, Cowboys had the ball after Donovan Wilson got an interception on Jared Goff. That was his second interception. At 2:04, if you don't believe me, go back to the game. I'm not making stuff up. You can go verify it yourself. I'm not just talking just to be talking. At 2:04, fourth quarter, Cowboys have the ball. They hand it off to Pollard. He runs to the left. Aiden Hutchinson sticks his leg out to trip him. There's a flag thrown. I'm thinking like, okay, well, they got him. Nah. They said tripping on the Cowboys, and they said Peyton Hendershot. Not only did they get the wrong player, they got the wrong team. So if it's scripted, why in the heck would they have us moving back? Wouldn't they be doing something to help us out so we could sit there and take this game, milk the clock, or no. So if it's scripted, why would it work in the Lions' favor? That helped the Lions, not the Cowboys, but it's scripted, right? There's also a game, I believe it was, not I believe, I know it was against the Eagles. Again, verify my information. I'm not just talking just to be talking. Cowboys had the ball in Philadelphia. We were in the red zone. Similar play happened. Flag thrown. An eligible player said he didn't check in. Even though the player shows that he checked in, he confirmed with the ref. Dak even confirmed. Flag thrown, we get moved back. We lose that game. We lost that game by 5 points. Now, one single time that I see Rex Ryan go off having so much passion behind that, not one single time did I see anybody on social media, YouTube, saying, hey, the only reason why the Eagles won this game was because of this. Nobody said anything. Selective outrage. So that's what I'm saying. Like, in the NFL, there's these officials are humans, and humans are going to make mistakes. But it's just convenient that the only time people are up in arms is when it happens to their team, or they don't say nothing when it happens to the Cowboys. Because did anybody hit me up and stuff there or say anything? I'm like, man, Cowboys really got screwed on that one. Nah, nobody was up there talking about, hey, they need to change the rule. Nobody was talking about that. They just said, hey, Cowboys lost. Hey, let's gloat. Let's up there and say, fly, Eagles, fly. That's what y'all typically do. Y'all just blow it off because it doesn't matter unless it happens to your team. I remember even against the Miami game, CeeDee Lamb's literally getting his pants pulled in the end zone. To the point where on national television, we almost saw CeeDee Lamb's behind. Not one flag was thrown. No holding, not pass interference, nothing. You know what everybody said? Told you the Cowboys going to lose. So Miami didn't win just because they just won. Selective outrage. So that's all I have to say about that. People tend to get up in arms when it's going against their team and not necessarily saying it's the rule. The rule's not a problem. It's a rule. The rule's a problem only when it affects you. So anyway, and Lion fans, Cowboys suck. They this. You can have your own opinion about it. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But my thing is, Lions, y'all should just be happy that y'all are in the playoffs. It's been years. Last playoff win y'all had was 1991. Be happy. Don't blame it on this. Enjoy just being in the playoffs. We all trying to get to a common goal, but don't sit there. You ain't gotta shoot down Cowboys just because you up in arms. Just let it go. Let it go. I'm done talking about this controversial call. Let's move on. Let's talk about football. Um, Big game Sunday. Cowboys. Hopefully they get this win. I don't even know what to even say as a score prediction because I don't even know if the Commanders are playing their starters. I don't know. But if I had to just throw out a number, I'm gonna say Cowboys win 27-14. But the only thing I care about in this game is the Cowboys walk away with a victory. That's it. Walk away with a victory, win your division. Let's get ready for some playoff football. Till next time, I'll see y'all then. Peace.